Attention, passionate Dallas Cowboys fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another championship run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Dallas Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you're a Cowboys supporter, you already know that every season in the NFL brings its surprises, its drama, and moments that get fans talking for weeks. But this offseason has been particularly intense, with a lot of talk about the division, about the league's focus on discipline, and about how certain incidents could shape the upcoming campaign. And one story that has been making waves, especially among Cowboys fans, is what happened during the season opener involving our quarterback Dak Prescott and a controversial move by the Eagles' Jalen Carter. But what's really happening here? Is Prescott in trouble? Will Carter face any repercussions from the league? Let us break it all down, get into the details, and see what this means for the Cowboys' hopes in 2025. So, it all started in the opening game of the NFL season, a game that had plenty of buzz beforehand. The Cowboys were facing off against the Eagles, a fierce rival that has been challenging for NFC East supremacy for years now. The game itself was a close one, full of intensity, big plays, and moments that kept fans on the edge of their seats. But what caught everyone's attention wasn't just the play on the field. It was an incident that occurred before the first snap. An incident that could have had serious consequences, but as it turns out, might not result in any league punishment for Prescott. Let us set the scene. The game kicks off, the ball is in play, and just after the opening whistle, something unexpected happens. Replays show that Jalen Carter, the Eagles' talented defensive tackle, approached the Cowboys' offensive huddle, which is pretty normal in a game of this magnitude. Players often get into heated exchanges or trash talk. But what's unusual here is what happened next. As Carter approached, Dak Prescott, our star quarterback, moved toward him and in a moment of tension, spat in Carter's direction. Now, they were still several yards apart, so it wasn't a spit directly into Carter's face. But the gesture was clear enough, and enough to spark controversy. Prescott, known for his competitive fire and leadership, then turned and flashed a grin at Carter, perhaps trying to defuse the moment or maybe just reacting instinctively. But Carter didn't take it lightly. He took a step forward and from close range spat directly onto Prescott. That's right, directly at point-blank range. The officials, seeing this, immediately threw a flag, and Carter was ejected from the game for unsportsmanlike conduct. And honestly, that's a pretty unprecedented move. NFL players don't usually get ejected for spitting. But in this case, the league made it clear that such behavior crosses the line. Now, here's where it gets interesting, especially for Cowboys fans. Despite the initial reaction, the league's official stance seems to be that Prescott will not face any punishment. Walt Anderson, who has been on the field as an NFL official for 24 years, and now acts as the league's officiating and rules analyst, made it clear during an appearance on NFL Network's Game Day morning that there really wasn't anything that Prescott did beyond the initial exchange before Carter's act of spitting. Anderson emphasized that Prescott's actions moving towards Carter, spitting in his direction, and even grinning weren't enough to warrant league sanctions, especially since Prescott was several yards away and didn't escalate the situation further. Anderson's words carry weight because he is someone who knows the ins and outs of NFL officiating better than most. He pointed out that the league's focus is on maintaining sportsmanship, and that Prescott's behavior, while perhaps questionable in the heat of the moment, likely won't lead to fines or suspensions. It is worth noting, though, that the league has been emphasizing cracking down on taunting and unsportsmanlike conduct in recent seasons, so it is not out of the realm of possibility that some kind of fine or reprimand could be handed down later. But for now, it looks like Prescott's actions won't have any long-term repercussions. Meanwhile, Jalen Carter, who was ejected, issued an apology afterward, expressing regret for his actions. He said, "I feel bad for my teammates and fans. I am doing it for them. Doing it for my family too, but fans, they show the most love. It won't happen again. I've already made that promise." But as we all know, actions speak louder than words. And just a few days later, something similar happened in college football, which shows how ingrained this kind of behavior can be in competitive sports, albeit it is still unacceptable at any level. In Gainesville, Florida, Brendan Bett, a redshirt sophomore defensive lineman for the Florida Gators, was ejected for spitting on an opponent during a college game against South Florida. That incident extended a drive that led to a game-winning field goal for USF, and it drew criticism from the Florida coaching staff. Head coach Billy Napier made it clear that such acts of unsportsmanlike conduct are detrimental to the team, emphasizing that players need to keep their composure and act with integrity on the field. So, what does all this mean for Carter and Prescott moving forward? Well, the league is expected to impose a fine on Carter, with estimates suggesting it could be around $57,222, roughly equivalent to one of his game checks. Given that Carter earned that in Week 1 despite not playing a single snap, it's a symbolic penalty, but one that sends a message. The NFL has made it clear they're serious about cracking down on taunting, trash talk, and unsportsmanlike acts, especially with the emphasis on sportsmanship this season. Interestingly, no player in NFL history has been suspended solely for spitting, but if Carter were to face a suspension, it would mark a first, and it would serve as a stark warning to other players about crossing the line. Now, some experts are suggesting that even if Carter is suspended for one game, it could impact his contract, voiding some of his guaranteed money for the 2025 and 2026 seasons. Jonathan Jones of CBS Sports pointed out that such technicalities could come into play, but he also notes that the team would likely still pay Carter in full, regardless of any suspension or fine. The bottom line is that Carter's short career has already seen its share of controversy, fined multiple times for fighting, late hits, and unnecessary roughness, and even involved in a fatal street racing incident while at Georgia, which hurt his draft stock. Now, with this incident, it's another blow, but it's also a reminder of the importance of discipline, especially for a young player with so much talent and potential. For the Cowboys, what does all of this mean? Well, first of all, it's a reassurance that Prescott's actions in the heat of battle aren't likely to result in league punishment. He's a leader, a veteran, and one of the most respected quarterbacks in the league. His ability to stay focused and lead his team, even in tense moments, is a huge asset. And despite the controversy, it's clear that the league's priorities are about maintaining discipline and sportsmanship values that Dallas has always stood for. But what about our defense? Carter's ejection was a blow to the Eagles' front line, especially since he is considered one of the rising stars in the league. His presence on the field brings a lot of pressure and versatility, and losing him for even a game can impact the Eagles' defensive scheme. For the Cowboys, this is a chance to capitalize, to exploit the gaps that might open up in the Eagles' line without Carter. It's also a reminder that discipline and composure are crucial things that Dallas's own players, especially on defense, have been working on throughout the offseason. Looking at the bigger picture here, this incident highlights the ongoing importance of mental toughness and emotional control in the NFL. It's a game of passion, yes, but also a game of respect. The league is trying to send a message that acts of disrespect or unsportsmanlike conduct won't be tolerated, even if they seem minor or impulsive. It's about protecting the integrity of the game and ensuring that players understand that their actions can have serious consequences, both financially and in terms of reputation. And for the Cowboys, this is a moment to reinforce the culture of discipline and professionalism. Dak Prescott, despite the controversy, remains a leader who commands respect in the locker room. His focus on winning, on leading by example, is what keeps the team united and motivated. The coaching staff continues to emphasize the importance of emotional control and sportsmanship, knowing that these qualities often make the difference in close games and playoff runs. Now, looking ahead, the NFC East is shaping up to be even more competitive this season. The Eagles, with their strong roster and talented young players like Carter, are still a force to be reckoned with. But incidents like this could cause some internal issues if not handled properly. The Cowboys, on the other hand, are quietly building a roster that's balanced, talented, and hungry for another shot at the Super Bowl. The addition of key players in the offseason, the emergence of stars like C.D. Lamb, and the continued development of Prescott as a leader all point toward a promising season. But the league's focus on discipline and respect on the field reminds us that every small incident can have larger repercussions. So, as we follow this story, it's essential to remember that football is a game of passion, of fierce competition, but also of respect and sportsmanship. The NFL is trying to set an example, especially for young players coming into the league, that crossing certain lines can cost you dearly. For Dallas Cowboys fans, this is a moment to stay proud of our team's professionalism and resilience. We've seen how setbacks can be turned into opportunities, and how leadership on the field can make all the difference. And as the season progresses, we'll be watching closely to see how the league handles Carter's situation. Will they impose a suspension, a fine, or perhaps just a warning? Will this incident have any lasting impact on the Eagles' defense or the Cowboys' game plan? It is all part of the unfolding drama that makes the NFL so exciting. But one thing is for sure, our Cowboys are in it for the long haul, ready to overcome any obstacles, and determined to make this season one to remember. So stay tuned, keep supporting your team, and keep that passion alive. Because with each game, each play, and each controversy, the NFL continues to deliver the kind of entertainment that fans like us live for. The rivalry, the drama, the triumphs, and setbacks, all of it is what makes football the greatest sport in the world. And for the Dallas Cowboys, this season promises to be another chapter in their legendary story. We all in this together, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and IT makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let's continue with the big reveal. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What is your take on this whole situation? Do you think Prescott's actions warrant any league punishment? Or do you believe this was simply a moment of heat that doesn't deserve further scrutiny? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys. Remember, this is your channel, your community, where we share our passion for this incredible team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and all the latest news from the Cowboys universe. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let us keep supporting our team through every twist and turn this season has in store. Because if there is one thing we know for sure, it is that the Dallas Cowboys are always in the fight, always in the hunt, and always ready to make history. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you soon with more Cowboys news, insights, and all the passion that makes us true fans of this legendary franchise.